Hi there all. Um, Welcome to the new subscribers that I've got this week. Thank you very, very much. Um, it's a beautiful evening here in Cape Town. Full moon, but you won't see it now. Summer's really set in. We've been up to 40 degrees Celsius. Not fun. And it seems to get hotter after midday for some reason. I don't know, things are going all weird. Before you knew that after midday things would cool down. Now it's after midday things heat up till about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Anyway, I was thinking today, this evening, of talking about expectations and how misleading they are and how they can cause such problems. Okay, I mean, they can even cause people not speaking to each other, breakdowns in relationships and everything. I learned a lesson, one of my life lessons. It took me a long time. I seem to be a very slow learner for some unknown reason. But I really learnt how bad expectations can be. And they really are bad because when you look at it, we are actually putting our expectations on somebody else without them even knowing what those expectations are. Okay? So, I mean, it's like you meet somebody and your expectation is that the next time you see them, they're going to greet you. And if they don't, for whatever reason, maybe they didn't see you, maybe their minds were preoccupied, maybe they were just having a bad day. But our expectation is that when they see us, they're going to greet us. And when they don't, we get all twisted and knotted up and, oh, how could they do that? And all that kind of business, okay? Another thing is, within families, I mean, you say to, or you do something for one of your family, okay? And you expect them to say thank you, or when you need something, to be willing to provide it or to help you, because your expectation is, I did something for you, now my expectation is that you won't mind helping me. You see, our expectations for other people are all inside our heads. Okay? And unless the other person becomes an instant mind reader, okay, or we have a bubble at the top of our heads that says what our expectation is, okay, the other person just doesn't know. And really, the other person is actually innocent. And we are judging them, okay? You're actually judging an innocent person and making them guilty for something that they didn't even know. I mean, that's kind of mean. So unless you're prepared, when somebody doesn't do something that you expect them to do, and you say to them, hey, how about saying thank you? Or, I did this for you. It would be kind of nice if you kind of helped me, okay, this time. You really cannot perform and get all twisted and uptight and hot and bothered, okay, for something that the other person doesn't even know. So I learnt, or I realized, okay, that expectations really don't have a place in my life. I have enough problems with people without now putting my expectations on them, without them even knowing it, okay, and then getting all hot and bothered because they haven't lived up to my expectations. It's not theirs, it's mine, okay. So I prefer, either I voice what I expect or I don't expect. I mean, it's kind of logical. I hate to say, okay. I know logic, people nowadays seem to be very allergic to logic. All right. But I'm not. So either I voice what I expect of that person, or I don't expect. And you know something, as soon as I did that, it was so freeing, because then I could I could be who I was, who I am, okay, without having all these expectations of the other people and how they treat me. And I could treat the people as I wanted to, with no strings, because expectations are strings. And they nasty strings. They really, really are. Okay? And I could just be me and be free. And if they didn't greet me, so what? Next time I see them, we see what happens. I mean, it's, you know, when you can deal with people just as they are, okay, at that particular moment, and not think of how, and not expect them to be that person again 2 or 3 days later. It's ridiculous, okay? I mean, okay, cool. If they don't greet me 2 or 3 times, then that's it. Hey, there's the gate. Don't let it hit you on your on the way out, okay? So, yes, you have your limitations, okay? But it's your choice. I mean, they might not greet me for 6 months, and then all of a sudden one day they'll greet me, and that's fine. In that particular moment, I deal with that particular thing, not things that I've been carrying with me for 6 months. And they don't even know that I've been carrying that with me for 6 months. That's the best part of the whole deal. I mean, it kind of sounds weird and ridiculous when you look at it like that. But the minute you free yourself and you free people in that manner, I tell you something, your life becomes a lot easier. It really does. I mean, it's just common sense. I am not telepathic. Okay? I never have been. I never will be. I'm not a brain surgeon where I can open your head and tell you what you're thinking, okay? Nobody walks around with bubbles on top of their head, okay, so that you can read what's going on, okay? So, how can I expect other people to do something I don't do, I can't do? You know, just one more story and then it's over, okay? But when I first got married, I expected my husband to love me the same way as I loved him. Now, there's something very wrong with that, first of all. We're two completely different people. In fact, we're two completely different cultures. Okay, completely different. He's Portuguese. I'm licorice all sorts. I'm a little bit of everything and bugger all of nothing. Okay. But I was raised completely differently to him with completely different values. Okay. How can I expect him to love me the way that I love him? Okay. And if I went up to him, if we had an argument and I was wrong, and I went up to him and said sorry, I expected the same reciprocation when he was wrong. Well, it never happened. And boy, did I get twisted. Man, oh man. You know that saying, if mama ain't happy, nobody's happy. I tell you, I could sulk for days. When they invented the word sulk, it had to start with an S because it belonged to Sally. I knew how to pull it. Until one day I realized that the sulking wasn't getting me anywhere because he was now used to it. So then I harbored all the yucky bitterness and everything inside me, okay? And I thought, well, I'm not going to be nice to you because you're not nice to me. Do you see how my expectations for him and the way he should deal with me, okay, were making a complete and utter mess of our marriage? I mean, there was enough other stuff to make a mess of the marriage. It didn't need that as well. Okay. So, please, stop expecting things that you're not prepared things of people that you're not prepared to voice. Because until Google finds a way or somebody finds a way, okay, of making our expectations known without having to voice them, nobody's going to know. So, if you want to put your expectations onto somebody, be prepared to voice them. Because otherwise, you don't have the right to get all bitter and twisted. Because they don't know your expectations. None of us are raised the same way, okay? None of us are taught to deal with things the same way. Some of us aren't even taught to deal with things. And yet, we put our expectations onto somebody, the way we were raised and the way we were taught to handle things and to deal with people and stuff like that. So we expect the other person to be the same. It doesn't work. It's impossible. I mean, that is pie in the sky. You couldn't have a ladder to climb up to that. So, just think about it, okay? No, seriously, think about it. Don't get all uptight and twisted and everything, okay? And get all, oh, well, you know, Sally. No, just sit and think about it. And work it out in your own mind about how useless and troublemaking expectations are, unless you're prepared to voice them to the person that you are expecting something from, okay? And you know what? Have a fantastic week. May your gods go with you. Be kind to each other. Just be kind. Expect nothing. Just be kind. Give freely if you can. If you can't, don't give. It's as simple as that. Have a fantastic week. As I've said before, I'm getting old. I repeat things. Sorry. Take care of each other. And smile at a stranger. Sometimes just reach out a hand and touch somebody. You never know what kind of day they're having. And just that simple smile or good morning or thank you or, boy, you look lovely today, could really lift a person up. Ciao, ciao.